Thank you very much, Joe. I'm here again with Lee Demon Smith and Trevor Quickshot Henry to break down that win from SK Gaming Prime over NIP. Very convincing. And guys, how much of that stemmed from wrong champion select by NIP?
Well, I think wrong champion select is definitely something you have to consider. You know, Joe and DeFisher were talking about the Morgana ban. It's a little obscure because it's not something that Zitan has been running a lot in the past. He locked Brahma in super early and it worked in their favor. On the same token, Kikis has been very dominant on Jarvan. We know Ko has played Jarvan in the past. Elise was open. And he picked Eve, which he's got a losing record with. We've got a challenger caster upstairs, Lucy, who's been talking to us about all the games that he's had the pleasure of watching. And Lucy was just not impressed with Ko's picks. And the same token, Alex, one of the most gifted mechanical players on Zillion, a not necessarily playmaking champion. I'm not completely sold.
No, absolutely. And if you were to look at SK Prime's team comp at the start, they had a very clear goal. Kikis was going to go in, and Relia was going to dive in on top of them, and the shockwave would work. Worked out, I would say, probably 80% of the time. There was a few whiffed where basically Kikis went too far ahead of them and completely outrun them. But overall, you know, SK Prime wanted a fight throughout that game, and every fight was chosen on their own way. Like, at no point did NIP go into that saying, we want to fight. It was a case of, holy hell, they're coming at us again.
Let's actually take a look at one of those fights around the Dragon Pit. Let's get that up on the screen. It's actually a moment that SK Prime is already pretty far ahead.
Yeah, so at this point in time, you can already see that there's a sizable gold lead in favor of SK Gaming Prime. They initiate on Ninjas in Pyjamas, and despite losing Kikis early, he's done the right job. Got the Cataclysm down, delivered a strong shockwave, and it's just cleanup crew from SK Prime. They rolled over NIP. That was the team fight that absolutely solidified the lead, but up until that point, it had been skirmishes and skirmishes, which SK Prime just kept clawing a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. From there, it was downhill. Alex bought a Soul Stealer out of desperation, hoping to get stacks. It was too little too late.
You watched the Alliance too much.
Yeah, I mean, it was never going to work, and it even showed towards the end to the point that Alex wasn't even able to click his ultimate on himself quick enough because he was just getting dumped that quick.
Okay, controversial thought. Game 1 of the series, Ninjas in Pyjamas are struggling in another Challenger Series final. I certainly haven't heard that before.
No, absolutely. That is something to worry about for them. So, guys, will it be mediated by the picks, do you think? Can NIP pull it back in?
Jarvan has to be taken off the table or picked early. I think Kikis had a very strong showing on that champion. I would dare say Lee Sin and Elise also have to be considerations. They are similar, aggressive, early game champions. And if Kikis can have that sort of level, that sort of impact, this might be a 2-0. You know, Kikis only recently joined SK Prime once Broken Shard left, and SK Prime seemed to be going through the roof in terms of performance and ability.
Yeah, I mean, NIP coming into this one's the #1 seed. Everybody's touting them as the #1 seed for Challenger, hoping that maybe we're going to see this NIP Gambit. The question is, are they? At the moment, it doesn't look like it.
No, absolutely not. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, it is Game 2 between SK Gaming Prime and Ninjas in Pyjamas. We'll be right back.